So let's have a look at all the things Battlefield. First things first, we have a date. So the Battlefield 2042 open beta starts on the 8th to the 9th of October, which is Friday and Saturday. So the open beta stops on a Sunday? Yeah, that's so weird. That's so weird. And the beta early access, when you were pre-ordering, is on the 6th to the 7th. Okay. Huh. Let's have a look at the trailer here. Let's have a look at this, shall we?
Okay, squads. Strategy's simple. Capture your objectives, take control
Okay,
of the
that's the
sector,
beta
and
map.
repel the enemy.
I think that's the same map we already played in the alpha. I mean, I heard people played in the alpha.
Watch out!
Oh my. Okay. So they are still doing the same mistake, in my opinion, as they have been doing before. They are only putting in one beta map. And yes, I say that's a mistake because whenever we had like a Battlefield beta, they only had one map most of the time. They were sometimes wise enough to add a second one at some point. But in this case, it seems like we are only getting one, which is, let me have a look at this, shall we? So they are the open beta dates and, more importantly, the times. So that's 7 a.m. UTC. Yeah, this is 7 a.m. UTC. So that's that would be in East Coast time. 2 a.m.? 1 a.m.? The previous day? Yeah, something like that. So they're basically starting with European times, which is good. Conquest map orbital, which really shows that this is not a beta. No, it's not a beta. Like, let's be honest here. They are probably testing some server infrastructure at best, but this is not a beta. We will have 128 players on Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PlayStation 5. Of course, if you were playing on the Xbox One or PS4, you were bound to 64 players, but that's not any new information we knew about that. We get the 4 specialists, which were announced. That makes also sense. Oh, there's the progression and cosmetics. We will definitely take a look at that. Then we have the layout. Recommended minimum specs. Yes, let's have a look at that. So, if you want to play this game, you need at least an AMD Ryzen 5 3600 or a Core i5 66K. Okay, 8GB of RAM, 4GB of video memory. Keep in mind that Battlefield was always a very, very CPU heavy game. Like when it comes to graphic cards, it's not that bad. You need a GeForce GTX 1050 Ti or a Radeon RX 5060. Again, makes sense. This game is also coming out on the old consoles, and yeah. 100GB of hard drive space. Look, Battlefield. I don't say that there are not a few features you should take from Call of Duty, because they have a few good ones. Not a lot, but a few good ones. But the space on your hard drive is not it. That is the one thing you should not take from Call of Duty. Just saying. Okay, 100GB was to be expected, especially if you're looking at the last Battlefield games. They have been pretty big. Recommended stats. You need a Ryzen 7 2700X. Ow, that's my CPU right here. Ooh, yikes. Wait, or you need an Intel Core i7 4000 7090? What? What type of comparison is that? That's... Yeah, but... Huh? Okay. That's a weird comparison. Yeah, that's a super weird comparison. Oh well. 16 gigabyte of RAM, that's also becoming pretty normal. You need a GeForce RTX 3060, that's also still pretty good. Or Radeon RX 6600 XT, again, that's to be expected. Yeah, alright. Now, here's the thing though. What are those recommended specs for? Like, serious question here. Like, are we talking about 1080p ultra settings? Are we talking about 4040p 60 ultra? Like, what are the ray tracing settings? Do we get ray tracing? A bit more information. Like, unfortunately, we have reached a point with PC hardware that we have a lot of different specs for a lot of different things. And keep in mind, 4040p is becoming more and more the standard in the PC space. So I don't know if this is still for 1080p or if this is for 4040p. I cannot tell you. That is a little bit unfortunate. I would have loved to get some more information here. Speaking of information, let's have a look at the briefing, shall we? We already saw the beta trailer. Yeah, this is 8 a.m. This is 9 a.m. CST. And this is, oh, it's 3 a.m. East Coast time. Okay, that's good. Progression. Our design approach for earning XP in Battlefield 2042 is to reward the most XP to players who play the objective and stick with their teams, yada yada yada. Excuse me. On top of that, ribbons are a great way to earn XP, and we are excited that they are back in a way for Battlefield 2042. Ribbons are earned by completing different gameplay objectives and have up to 3 tiers which will grant greater XP. Okay, play the objectives, support teammates with okay, those are the standard things, spot and disrupt, score kills and destroy vehicles. So those are standard ribbons. Yeah, those are standard ribbons. At launch, you'll be ready to jump into the battlefield and start earning XP up to a max level of 99. What? No 100 this time? I'm shocked. Shocked! But once you reach that milestone, your adventure isn't over. You can continue leveling up through what we call S levels, starting as S1 and ending at S999. Oh, okay. While there are no further rewards tied to the S levels, they're the ultimate way to show off your veterancy on the battlefield. So, depending on how much you have played the game. Okay. Unlocking your weapons. Now, this is curious. Once you earn enough XP, you're promoted to the next player level. With every level comes new rewards, including weapons, gadgets, cosmetics, and more. When first starting your journey, you have to access a varied set of specialist weapons, vehicles, and gadgets. This allows you to discover several playstyles before you come across further unlocks during the level up process. A very specific like Battlefield thing. On the one hand, I understand this is great for progression and keeps the people playing. I personally was never a fan of that because if you had to play a game for like 20 hours before you can reach like a certain weapon or like certain gadgets, which really just make you play better, then that isn't fun. And with play better, I don't mean that the items are just stronger than the previous ones. Like Battlefield is one of the only games which basically has managed to have starter weapons which are as good as like the late weapons you're unlocking. Like it's not about strength, it's about which you are good with, which feels good for you. And believe me, I'm using some weapons other people are just looking at in the Battlefield games and they're like, ew, what is that? How can you even kill people with that? And I'm like, oh, works for me. Like, it's a very personal thing for Battlefield players depending on what they unlock. So I was never a fan of the whole idea of, well, you might not know it yet, but the weapon you would be really good at will unlock after 30 hours of playing that game. It's like, oh, don't do that. Please don't do that. There's a lot of hardware to unlock. However, the journey doesn't begin and end with just collecting weapons and gadgets. Hardware you unlock has its own mastery-based progression on the journey. To unlock a new scope, you still, you basically have to do the old standard Battlefield thing, like score enough kills, and then you are getting a scope for that. At certain mastery milestones, such as performing 40 kills with a weapon, you also gain cosmetics for that hardware, such as a new skin, a new tier of mastery badge you acquire to decorate your player card, and boast about your achievements. Earning the top of mastery rewards such for hardware and specialists is a monumental task, which of course means they want to keep you playing and playing and playing and playing, which makes sense. Here's the thing, I don't really mind if it takes a long time to unlock cosmetics. Like, if you have to do some bullshit, like you had to do in the other Battlefield games, just to unlock cosmetics, cool. Whatever. I'm cool with that. Do it. But the moment I have to do some 12 headshots with a pistol to unlock the next rifle for my character or something like that, I'm out. I hate that. Like, they have done that quite a bit. Especially Battlefield 1 had that with the DLC weapons, where without the DLCs, you would just get war bonds, and then with the war bonds, you could just buy the weapons. You know, pretty simple system. But then later on, they were like, okay, so here we give you this complete shitty weapon. You now have to score 12 headshots and 35 kills in one round, and then to unlock the weapon you actually want. And it was like, oh no, why? So as long as it's just for cosmetics, I'm cool. Like, I'm fine with that. With Battlefield 2042, you have a customizable player card that will allow you to show off your player level. Hello, Apex Legends. I see we have learned from each other. Makes sense. They have been working with Respawn quite a bit on all of this. So this doesn't really surprise me too much. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you can see what they have been doing. Again, very much Apex Legends. As a reminder, we also have cross-progression functionality for Battlefield, which will be shared across all platforms and travel with you wherever you go. That is pretty neat. While there are a few limitations to cross-progression. We want to make you aware of such as special edition cosmetics, okay, blah, blah, blah. Skins. Ooh. There are multiple ways of earning skins and cosmetics for specialization weapons and vehicles. Those cosmetics are available in following rarities: gray, blue, purple, gold. So very much since Battlefield 1. Rare and epic specialist skins have both a headgear component and a body component. Okay, this looks rather slick, not gonna lie. This looks really, really cool. We have to see. Like, here's the thing. Battlefield basically implemented cosmetics with Battlefield 1. Like, the system they are now using was implemented in Battlefield 1. And most of the skins were shit. Like, there were a few cool skins. I think the Battlefield 1 had actually some interesting ones here and there, but especially the skins in Battlefield 5, I barely used any of them. And they most definitely did not interest me to get bought. Like, I didn't spend a single cent on the Battlefield 5 skins because they were not worth it in my opinion. So I hope they can change that. I hope they can change that with 2042. And this looks pretty cool. I'm curious about this. Okay. Some upgrades for the chopper. Okay. Okay. Look. EA. Awesome. Looks cool. What is the skin? Like, where's the comparison? I would love to see the comparison to the not skinned weapon, right? Like, how does the default weapon look? And also, ew. Man, that's some depth of field, depth of view with some good mixed motion blur. Ooh. Ooh. No, seriously though, I would have loved to see like a comparison example. The same goes for this. Like, what is the comparison I'm looking at, right? And that would be neat if they are doing that. So I assume like this is all different, like the colorization, this is different, whatever this is. So that's just my assumption because, well, I don't have anything to compare with. Simple as that. We also caught up again on, okay, they are talking about what they are starting to do. Okay. Oh, well. Yeah. So the biggest problem I have with this beta, there are two things. First, why is it only running till Saturday? Like, oh, wait. And running until October 10th. Wait. They, on Twitter, they showed a different date. Yeah. Huh. Wonder why. That's interesting. Yeah. They showed us a different date on Twitter. They said October 9th. It's 10th. Okay, wrong information on Twitter. Well, surprise. But the start date is at least right. Okay, so it's going till Sunday, so that problem is gone. But yeah, the only problem I have then, which is left, is it's only one map. And we had that before. Like, some people didn't like the map at all. And because of that, they were like, didn't really click with me. Don't know if I'm interested in new Battlefield coming out. Yada, yada, yada. And some people then didn't touch the game. That definitely happened. So we will see. Like, they had those problems before. That those maps could make a bad impression on the people. But yeah, looks good. We will definitely play it in the early access when it happens. I'm really looking forward to it. And I will keep you posted. Thank you so much for watching this. If you're on your way out, I would also appreciate if you might consider to leave a like. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more Battlefield news, gaming reactions, gaming news, tips and tricks for new games, and so on and so forth, the whole gaming shebang, I would appreciate if you might consider to subscribe to the channel. with that said, thank you so much for watching. I see you next time, and stay safe.